So you've seen that we've had a good urban explore in Chapel y Llan down by Dolgellau, and we came to our park up overnight, which is by Llanberis, but unfortunately we were late, and it was dark by the time we got here. So we've been for a walk just to get our 10,000 steps in, which we've done. The time is 7:15, too early for supper. So I'm just going to have a nice cup of coffee in the Kelly Kettle mug and put a DVD on. And then later on, we are going to have our New Year's Eve buffet. The temperature's not too bad. I'm absolutely boiling inside Nova. I haven't bought the diesel heater with me, so I'm just hoping that I don't regret that tonight. So here we are then. I'm in my Snowdon, as you can see, or whatever it's called. Anyway, Nova is in a bit of a state. Stuff everywhere, but more importantly, there we are. New Year's Eve buffet, Nick at NovaAdventure style. Got some nice crisps and some peanuts. And then look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. That's what it's all about. Bottle of beer, Italian beer. Blwyddyn newydd dda, pawb. Happy New Year to you all, and we are still up. We have some beer. We are watching a DVD. We have the blue lights on in Nova. Let me just turn that one off and turn that one off, and blue lights tonight. Right, anyway, that's it for 2025. We shall look forward to many more adventures, micro camping adventures and urban explores with Nick at NovaAdventures. Bore da pawb. Good morning all, and yes, it is the 1st of January 2026, and oh my god, did it piss down with rain last night. Whew. But we had a good night's sleep. We woke up around about 8 o'clock. The time's what's the time? 5 to 9. We've eventually sort of got up out of the pit. And there she is, look, Nova looking in a very, very disorganised state. So yeah, and I don't look too pretty, especially first thing in the morning. So anyway, I'm not sure what we're going to get done today, but the priority is to get Nova into day mode, so we can have some breakfast. Now, I can do that all inside Nova if I want to, but I think while it has stopped raining, a bit misty out there, but as it stopped raining, we'll get Nova into proper day mode and get everything packed away, and then get some breakfast, first breakfast of 2026, and of course a much needed welcome cup of coffee. Anyway, that is all I can promise today. All right, what I've decided to do is actually skip breakfast and just show you where we are. So look, yes, there are quite a few vans up there. Look, definitely not a drone day today. It is a little bit windy, and I'm not sure whether it is going to stay dry. So there we are. There's Nova parked there. Look, next to a couple of micro campers. We've got a Citroen van there, Blingo van, and we've got a high top Doblo over there. So there she is. Right, so this is where we are then. We are at Llanberis in Llanberis, and this is where the first part of the lake, or the Llyn as we call it in Cymraeg. The ducks enjoying a nice New Year's Day swim. And look at that, you can still see how empty this is. Where I am standing now would normally be covered in water. There we are. Amazing. Right, I'll take you now to what Llanberis is famous for, and that is the lonely tree. So from where Nova's parked, just through the tree there, look, we've come along the llyn, and I don't think there's anybody currently here at the lonely tree. There is a news report that the tree is in danger. Through there, look, there's somebody there already in a red top. But yeah, the tree's in danger of being eroded away because it's on a little shale island, and they're on about building sort of a slight embankment to protect the tree. There she is, look. Obviously, where I'm standing now would be covered in water. Shows you how low these llynns are across Wales and across the country as a whole. So we would never have been able to get this close to the lonely tree. There she is. Wow. But look at where we are. This is Llanberis, and that coming into view about now there is the lonely tree. I'm not quite sure what species of tree that is. I will find out, but originally this would not have been a lake, this would have been a field, and then over time it has filled full of water and quarry waste. Let's just go a little bit on. There we are. Wow, beautiful. And you can see to the left up here and up there, there is some snow on the top, and Yr Wyddfa is up over there in the clouds, can't quite see the peak, and Llanberis through that gap there. Wow. Never get tired of that view. So the best shot is to get the centre of the lonely tree in that V there, look. We are now going to go back to Nova and do some tidying up and have some breakfast. There were a bunch of guys in the llyn just over there. They were in for about a minute, and they soon got back out. There we are, back into some proper light for you now. Wow, amazing. What a good decision that was to get up when we sort of woke up the second time. There's Nova, and I'm not sure if you can see him, but just over by there, there's a robin come to visit us, so we've given him some, or her, some breakfast. Some nice ginger biscuits, happily snacking away. And there is the back of Nova then, in now some sort of order, what I call day mode, and breakfast this morning. Some nice orange juice, much needed coffee, cereal, protein bar, and an apple. So I'm going to enjoy that. Right, so we've had our breakfast, and I think I'm going to feed the ducks. Come on in. There they are, a bit wary. Anyway, leave them to get on with that. We've had breakfast and the weather is still okay, believe it or not. It's a bit cold, but we'll take cold, dry over pissy rain and a little bit warmer. So we are hoping to walk over to the bomb store. I'm not sure about any drone footage today. Okay, right. One last look into the back of Nova. There she is. Right. Time to finish my cup of coffee. Right, so we've come from just over there, look, and we are going to go and try and find the bomb store. It's been a while since we've been there, but if you look through there, you can see that tunnel. in the distance, so it would have come underneath the road and they would have had access to load the bombs from Llanberis, or I would have thought this would have been a railway running down here, because there's a walk off down there and it is quite a straight road. So perhaps from the railway through there into the bomb store. And oh, the toilets are closed. Anyway, we're going for a walk. There's been a lot of wild swimmers this morning, and yeah, rather them than me, not my sort of thing, but each to their own. Right, okay, let's go and find this bomb store. Alrighty, after thinking that we couldn't get here and that we had the wrong way, we had the right way, because there is the bomb store, or the former bomb store. So this section that you're looking at out here, still got the roof on, but if I just move the other side of this, you can see there is a section down in there where the roof has collapsed, and just in the corner there are the tunnels that lead back to Llanberis, which is just over there. Right, okay, let's find a way down. Let's get in the bomb store. Let's try and get David the drone up, and let's get some footage. So there we are. We are at what would have been the roof level, and as you see, there is a tunnel just in the centre of the picture right there. I think our entry route is from up there. Okay, so one hell of an echo in here, I think. One! Brilliant. Okay, we will be going in down over there somewhere just for a quick look, because we have been here before. So here we are then, nearly in the basement. If I can get down without falling. It's pretty sketchy. Ah, this brings back some memories, this does. Ah, right, a couple more feet to go and we are down. There we are, excellent, brilliant. Glad I found it. There may be more people in here, I don't know. It is quite a popular urban explore place. Doesn't look like it's changed much since I was here last. Okay, so we're going to just come round, give you a broad overview. So here are the tunnels, look. There we are, there is one tunnel. We shall go in there a bit later. And there's an echo, listen to this. Oh, hang on, let's go through. Whoop, whoop, call the police! Anyway, here we are. We might as well do this tunnel. There's enough light in there. And as you can see, when we came out of Llanberis and I showed you that gate, well, this is the gate. Wow. We have got torches on us, so no problem. Just wanted to do this one because there's plenty of light. And in like every place, we have some wall art. This is the place to do it. Nobody sees it, but wow, look at that. And then there we are, look out through there. Here's Llanberis. If we were a little bit skinnier, we'd do that, but we're not. And there is a big lock on that door that's not going anywhere. Okay, back through the tunnel, and then we go into the floor of this bomb store. Well, former bomb store, I should say, because you might get a bit worried if I keep calling it a bomb store. There are no bombs in here, just me. And as we exit the tunnel, you can see to my, or should I say, your left, there's a little bit of a ramp just up there, look. That would have been the platform, and here would have been the tracks. There would have been two tracks, one this side, look, going through there, and then there would have been another one. We might go in this in a bit, just seeing what the weather's doing. I might get a drone footage of a 360 round this view. And there you can see the double height wall as it would have been. And then another tunnel in here, which I think we will need the torch to go in there. Yes, dark. Oh, I don't think it goes very far, but we'll go in there anyway. You know us, we love to roam about. Alrighty, so you can see the configuration of how this would have looked. So it would have been 2 stories. I'm not sure if there's one underneath us, but they are the arches on the top, and you can see the earth on top, and then of course you'd have had the normal straight rooms underneath. Now I think when we came in, we got in through here. There is water about, look, deep water. Hide and Mindro. No way in. No, I think that has been locked up, but we shall have a look. So unfortunately we can't get in. We've tried through the door over there and we can't get in, so I am just going to do a drone shot, a 360, and some closer or better footage of the arches. And yeah, disappointing, but what I will do, I will put a link to that video where we actually, that vlog where we actually got in there. I'll put up there as a card somewhere. So if you click on that, you'll be able to see exactly what is in those tunnels there. Okay, right, we had more drone footage of that than we thought we were going to have, considering the weather was meant to be absolutely shite today. It's currently okay. So we've spent too much time here, but we are going to go through Tull Awal. And by there, look, yeah, the hole in the wall, but not the one you get money out of, unfortunately. Okay, right, we're going to get in there and see how far this tunnel extends, because I can't remember how far it goes in. Right, join me inside the tunnel. Yeah, we made it through there, look. And we are going through there. We're going to leave our kit there, and hopefully this light will be okay. It's not perfect, but it's doing the job. And you can see on the floor here, look, you can see where the sleepers would have been. But what a place to be doing your wall art. There it is. There, nice and pink. And I thought that said NB then, but no, MB. Right, that is it. We have gone to the end, although some people have made a hole, but can they actually go any further? Well, that's your answer. No. Shall we do whoop whoop, call the police? Lush. Anyway, right, so we have, as I said earlier, spent too much time in the bomb store, or the former bomb store, and it's time to vacate the premises. Amazing. Right, there we are. We can see light at the end of the tunnel. That much light. Okay, so from the former bomb store in Llanberis, unfortunately, as I said, we couldn't get in, but we've been in before, so we're not too disheartened. Oh no, look, the police have arrived. Have they or haven't they? Well, if they have, they've got in through the tunnel where we couldn't get in, but fortunately for us, it is only the new torch. It did look good though, didn't it? Wow, it gives a purple effect, doesn't it? That's really quite nice, the blue and red on at the same time, look, giving you purple. Anyway, right, time to get out of here. As you see flashing blue and red, hopefully I will remember to put a warning in there somewhere to say, please be aware of flashing lights. Whoop whoop! So, quick pit stop back to Nova. And we were going to get some drone footage of the lonely tree, but everybody's woken up now, so too many people by it. So we are now going to head up to Dolbadarn Castle, where hopefully we can get some more drone footage. And the weather today is exceptionally good. I wouldn't say good, but a lot better than they said it was going to be. So yeah, let's hopefully the wind drops just a smidge for us to get that footage of Dolbadarn Castle. And there we are as you look back onto Llanberis. Beautiful place. And you can walk around the Llyn, but do leave plenty of time. It is a long walk, mostly flat though. And you can also visit during the season the Slate Museum for free, Welsh Slate Museum for free, and you can take the train around the Llyn and also the train up Yr Wyddfa, but I would never do that again. So right, let's get up to Dolbadarn Castle and see if we can do some drone footage. We've walked back away from Nova, and this is where you get the train to go round the Llyn. It stops here. This is all you, as far as you go, and then obviously you go round the Llyn right the way over there. It is closed for the winter, so I'm not sure how much they charge, but we are working our way to Dolbadarn Castle, which is just the other side up over there. Right, let's get on to the station platform then, shall we? Here we are. And there we are. We are at Llanberis train station. And there it says a little bit about it there, look. Llanberis Lake Railway. all to do with the mining, of course. We've been up into the Norwig quarry. And then obviously that's where it stops. Right here, look. Just a little bit too windy for that drone at the moment to go up over Dolbadarn, but we will try. But and there we are. That's where we are. Look, Llanberis. So the railway would have gone across the road at this point, and it would have continued where the housing estate is across there, and then gone up to the top of Yr Wyddfa. But now in Llanberis they have the Yr Wyddfa railway that you can go up on, which is set just further up the road from where we are now. So, anyway, we've done our 10,000 steps, which is great. I keep referring back to that weather forecast, but the way it was looking on the 29th or 30th, I didn't even think we'd get a little bit of a walk in, let alone the walk we have done today. There is the river, which drains off into the first part of Llanberis. Beautiful. Right, enough talking, let's get to Dolbadarn Castle. Right, the entrance to Dolbadarn Castle. This is where we walked last night and across a bridge. There we are. It drains off that way into Llanberis and comes up from Yr Wyddfa that way, and from Ceunant Waterfalls, which we've also been to. That is mostly what remains of Dolbadarn Castle. And there are, surprisingly not surprisingly, a few more people around than there was last night. So there's the tagline, captured but not taken. Read that, pause the video, and then just a little bit more tells you a little introduction of the Welsh Prince Llywelyn ab Iorwerth. Right, okay. I'm hoping, I'm praying that this wind drops just a little bit and that we can get the drone up. We were at the top of the tower last night. We took some night photos looking down onto the hydroelectric power station below, which they seem not to have come out too bad, to be honest. Right, here we go then. Dolbadarn Castle. So as you can probably hear, it is a little too windy for the drone, so the next best thing is a periscope from the top of the tower. Sorry if it's a little bit shaky, that wind is a problemo. Anyway, I'm not sure what you can see from there, but anyway, let's try and do you a 360 the best that we can, and I do apologize if it is a bit shaky. There we are, but no chance of getting that David the drone up here. It is far too windy. There we are. I'm not sure, again, not sure what you could see. There we are. Wow. Hopefully I'll have a look at that, and hopefully that's okay for you. We climbed up the stairs, and you can tell back in when this castle was made, people were certainly a lot thinner and a lot smaller than we are today. Here we are, look, trying to go down as safe as we can. There we are, right, nearly down to safe ground. We did try and take David the drone up, but I wasn't comfortable. I didn't get a wind warning per se, but I wasn't up very high and he was moving about quite a bit, so we've decided now to walk back to Nova and have some lunch and go a different way to what we went last night, as it's daytime. So right, here we go then. A few more steps to be had and we say goodbye to Dolbadarn Castle. Having walked then from Dolbadarn Castle, where unfortunately we couldn't get the drone up, but as predicted, as soon as David's back in his pouch, box, case, whatever, that wind drops and there is not an ounce of wind. Mind you, I am on Snowdon now, but I am at the very base. Look at that waterfall. So we've been here before, but we don't mind coming again. Never tired of this place, and if there's a chance to go and see a waterfall, even one that I've been to before, then that's what we come to do. Wow. Plenty of water coming off Yr Wyddfa. Right, there's a railway, as you can see, going up there. That's the one that goes up to the top of Snowdon, or Yr Wyddfa. It's very strange calling it Snowdon now, but there we are. Okay, right, here we go, up to Ceunant Mawr. So here we are then, we've just arrived at Ceunant. And the last time I came it wasn't that rapid. Glad to say it is today. Wow. And it's still not as strong as it can be, because as you see it there, the waterfall comes down from the top. We will go up the top there and have a look. Comes from that side as well, up here, look, into the basin. And then when we have a lot of rain, it also comes down of that rock face there, but not today. Wow, how clear that water is. Having done Ceunant Waterfall then, I love how the moss, I've taken a photo of it, but how the moss clings to like the stones. And let's get up a little bit closer then, shall we? Look at that, beautiful. Just the way the moss hogs the stones, look. Creates some really, really stunning colours. Wow, look, I love it. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, there we are. Sorry about the noise. It's just a bit tricky in places. And there we are. Look at that. That colour green in nature is just amazing, isn't it? And there is the railway beyond. Just over the top there. Right, let's try and head back to Nova then. will we ever get back to Nova? Anyway, just a quick look at Afon Hwch. And if you don't believe me, it's called Afon Hwch, then there is the sign, Afon Hwch, which is a sow or a pig. So that is River Pig or Pig River. Ah, how crazy. And then as you see in the distance over there, these cottages date back to early 1900s and would have been miners' cottages. What a stunning place to live, I'm sure. So yeah, there we are. Look, it says there's Veynon Cottages, 1909. And then if you want to go up to Yr Wyddfa walk, you can go up where we've just come down, or you can see people coming down now. You can go up that way there. We've been up the Llanberis Pass. Right, okay, back to Nova, and we're going to get on home to Aberteifi then. So one last look at the lonely tree here at Dolbadarn in Llanberis. So that is now the end of 24 hours in mid to North Wales on this Nova Adventures. We'd walked nearly 24,000 steps, which equates to 10.5 miles. 10.5 miles, which I didn't think we would get today, to be honest. But once again, the weather has come really good. So anyway, for this one, I'm signing out. Nick at NovaAdventures on the 1st of January 2026. And just remember, always be safe, be good, but if you can't be good, then don't get caught.